I'm Mark Spear.
I'm Abby Spear. God has blessed us with 4 daughters, our ages 12, 10, 5, and 3.5. The older 2 have been in our family since the very beginning, and the younger 2 are adopted from China. Malia, when she was 9 months old, and Ilani, we just have had her in our family for less than a year. And it's just been neat to see as parents how God has really mended their hearts together as sisters. We prayed and talked about it a lot with our older 2 before we made the decision as a family to pursue adoption, and God has really worked in wonderful ways just to mend their hearts together, and they really enjoy each other's company. The 2 older ones have been so great with the younger ones and helping and just being great big sisters. So we just really feel blessed and are encouraged by how God mends families.
I suppose we've been used by God over the last number of years, and I would say He's worked in our lives as much or more than He's worked through our lives. I remember when we were in China the second time, bringing home Ilani, our little 3-year-old girl. I remember having the opportunity to go to see her orphanage. I saw her empty crib, and that image has just never left my mind. And I just looked at her empty crib and all the other cribs that were still full, and though I was so thankful for that empty crib, my heart broke for all those cribs that were still full. But after we kind of got a few months under our belt, our heart for the orphans still remained. This burden just kind of came on our shoulders, and we decided to form this organization called Love Has Come. And what we're wanting to do is reach out around the world and reach out to these orphans in these cribs that are still full. And we have had the opportunity to establish an orphan care project. A piece of what we do is to counsel people through the adoption process. And we also have a grant program now that we're trying to get rolling where we can help offset the cost of adoption for adoptive families. And what we've also got is an overseas piece where it's not adoption related specifically, but it's reaching out to kids around the world that don't have families. And that's been really fun to develop. And most recently, we've created some ties in Haiti.
God has worked in our organization, and we feel like the first place that we're going to be traveling to this coming January of 2012 is we're going to be going down to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and working in an orphanage down there. There's about 80 kids. Most of them are orphaned by the earthquake that occurred there a couple of years ago. And our goal is to go down there and work in the orphanage for a week and hopefully, Lord willing, partner with this organization to encourage people from the local area to adopt kids from there that really desperately need homes, and also just be able to send teams down there on a regular basis, yearly, or more often than that even, to bring supplies down and work with the kids down there in much needed area where they need a lot of help.
I'm very surprised that it has grown into this, that my heart has changed and kind of come along, and that's the neat growth process, I guess, that God has taken us through. And I would just encourage people not to be afraid to look at new things. Don't be surprised when God starts knocking on your heart. And if you'd like to learn more about our journey, it's lovehascome.com. It tells a little bit more about our personal story, but I'd encourage people to always be ready to listen to what God's personal story might be for them. All right, guys. So these are 3 of our 4 girls. Kirsten is at ballet camp right now, but this is Malia and Maddie and Ilani. And we've been incredibly blessed through the process, through having all of our children, and most recently having the opportunity to adopt has been absolutely amazing and a huge blessing. And we would just encourage everybody, whatever God is calling you to do, don't be afraid. And we've been so blessed through stepping out in faith and seeing the way that God has worked in us and through us.